Hi, I'm Christopher Gold, and this is Waupaca Local Live.
We became strangers by accident in the time you've been away. And now you're back, you don't recognize me. I held my breath too long, now I'm blue in the face. We always spoke in the same accent, but I guess mine started to fade. Blame my restless feet, blame the company I keep. You and me don't sound the same. But if I could, I would be there. It's what I always said. But I showed up looking around for the old days. I found out it was me who had changed. There's things about time they never tell you, how it moves at different speeds, how it can mend, or how it can break what was already bent, how it puts you back on your feet. But if I could, I would be there. It's what I always said. And I showed up looking around for the old days. I found out it was me who had changed. But if I could, I would be there. It's what I always said. And I showed up looking around for the old days. I found out it was me who had changed. Yeah, I showed up looking around for the old days. Found out it was me who had changed. Thank you.
Welcome to Waupaca Local Live. I'm Marcy Boku, and I have a really special guest in the studio tonight, Christopher Gold.
Hello.
And we're so excited because Christopher was on our main stage at Arts on the Square this last summer. So welcome back to Waupaca.
Thank you for having me
Really-
both times. We had a great time this summer.
Yeah, it was really great to have you. I just want to do a couple of announcements before we get started. I'm just going to make sure that everybody knows that our December show is going to feature some of the music teachers and a couple students from the Waupaca Community Arts Hub, which is one of the Arts Board's endeavors, our project. The Arts Hub is an arts and music school that is located in the upper levels of the First United Methodist Church, and we've got 50 students and 30 art students right now, and we're really excited to just share some traditional and not so traditional holiday songs. So tune in December for that show. And one more announcement, if you know a musician who plays original music, we're starting to book our 2023 shows. So just shoot us a message on Facebook or give me a call. You know where to find me. So excited about our next season because we have these great guests such as Christopher who write their own music and make their living doing music, and so we'd like to support that and just amplify their artwork for everybody. So welcome, Christopher, to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about basically where you came from. I know you're not a Wisconsinite.
Correct.
And you can admit that. It's
Yes.
a safe place here.
I have lived here for like 20 years, though.
20 years.
So
Okay,
that's a
you're
lot of
an honorary
winter.
cheesehead, right?
Right.
All right. So where did you come from?
Well, I was born in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Kentucky, and so you
Yes.
don't have an accent anymore,
Apparently not.
right?
Some people say that sometimes there's words here and there. But for the most part, no, I don't. My dad has a bit of an accent, and I think I got a little bit of that, but for the
Okay.
most part, no. I don't have a Wisconsin accent or a Kentucky accent.
What Wisconsin accent?
Oh, you know.
Oh, you know, don't you know? Have some toast. Oh my gosh. So when did you move to Wisconsin from Kentucky?
We bounced around quite a bit
Okay.
in between there, and I ended up in Wisconsin when I was about 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And which city did you move to?
I think originally it was Luxembourg,
Oh.
and then it was Appleton, and then Kaukauna, and then I live in Appleton.
Oh,
now.
okay.
It's
So
a
you
big
just
city.
you live in Appleton, not KK. All right.
Correct.
All right. And so where'd you go to high school then?
Kaukauna.
Oh, you went to high school in Kaukauna.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And were you always a musician, like from kid on, or did you pick it up in high school, or?
It was I was probably like 10 or 11. Again, when I started,
Okay.
there was a guitar in the house, and I started plunking around on that. My dad is a bluegrass mandolin player. So there was some of that.
Okay.
And, you know.
So you grew up around music in your family then, in other words?
Yeah, my
Pretty
dad was
much.
taking me to like bluegrass festivals and stuff when I was
Okay.
pretty young.
Okay.
So
how do you find the bluegrass around here? Or maybe it doesn't
good.
get as far down to Appleton, but
It's
out
very
here
good,
it's huge.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of good
Awesome.
stuff happening.
Yeah, there's like all these different pine festivals around here. They
Sure.
all have the word pine in them, and I
Yeah.
still don't quite understand it. But do you ever play at a bluegrass festival? Because you're folk. Does that get you in the door, or?
We played at one in Kentucky.
Oh.
There's a festival called the Romp Festival, and we played the after party,
Oh, okay.
which was cool because John Prine headlined that year.
Oh my.
So I have a
gosh.
framed poster in my office that says John Prine at the top, and then a bunch of other stuff, and then way at the bottom it has my name on it. But I
Did
love
you
it.
meet him?
No. I stood very, very near him, though.
That's almost as good.
It's good enough, yeah.
That's good enough. Okay, so your band, though, are you talking about your band, the old new things, right?
The new old things.
The new old.
Yes.
The
It's a
old,
mouthful.
The new old things.
Yes.
Not the old new things.
Correct.
So I got to think about what does new old mean and what does old new. Which one is it?
It's new old.
The new old. Hang on. I write that down. The new old things. Okay, I get
Yes.
it. I get it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Who came up with that?
I did.
I like it.
Yes.
All right, so tell us about that band.
We are a rock and roll band,
Okay.
and a fairly rowdy, fairly loud, 2 electric guitars, just
Okay, 2 electric
rock and roll
guitars.
band. Yeah.
So do they trade solos? Or do you trade
I'm
solos?
one of them.
You're
and
one of them.
I know better than to try to play guitar solos. I let the other guy
So you're the
handle that.
rhythm and-
yeah,
okay.
I do the rhythm and the vocals and that kind of thing. And then we have a bass player and a drummer and
Okay, cool.
just do a big, loud rock and roll show.
Nice. And do you do all original? Do you
Mm-hmm.
do some cover stuff?
We do all original stuff. The solo show and the full band show is all. Occasionally
Wow.
we'll throw in a cover, but it's
Okay.
usually not. It's never more than one, and even that's pretty rare. The last
Okay.
time we did a cover, we did "Where's My Mind" by the Pixies, a bunch.
Okay. So
And
not
then-
like a A-side top 40 cover.
No, we've never done like Single Ladies or anything like that. No, we did that. We did Even the Losers by Tom Petty. We did Sweet Virginia
I
by
like
the
that
Rolling
song.
Stones.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
All right. So when you told me before the show that you make your living as a musician, it's
Mm-hmm.
strictly playing. And so how often do you play shows, and what percentage are solo and what percentage are band?
Well, I play as often as people will have me. I
Yeah.
would do 300 shows a year if people wanted me to. I tend to average in like the 100, 150 shows a year kind of
Wow.
range. And I would say at least 2/3 of those are solo shows, just because
It's easier.
it's easier to
Yeah.
travel, and some of the guys in the band have either really young kids or they have like actual careers. I'm the only one that just does this.
Actual careers? Isn't this an actual career?
It depends.
You could say day job, maybe.
Sure. They'll get to retire before I do. We'll
Well,
put it
right,
that way.
that's true.
But they'll
Yeah.
also want to retire before I do. So,
Right. Well, the thing is you must be doing this because you love it.
yes.
There's no way you'd put yourself through this if you didn't love it,
No.
right?
Right.
Okay. That's awesome. So What is the range geographically that you play with your band or solo? How far out do you go?
The band is pretty confined to Wisconsin, and I would say the Midwest. Like for certain opportunities, we've gone as far as Iowa and Illinois. And then I go anywhere people ask. I've been down to Kentucky, I've been out to Colorado, I've been, everywhere in between, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Indiana, Kentucky again.
Do you book your own shows, or do you have a manager? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all
That's a lot
me.
of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you if you go on my website or something and you
Yeah.
email me, it goes right to my phone.
I was going to mention your website and your Facebook page, and this isn't meant to be critical, but there's hardly any pictures of you.
That's a thing, yeah.
Is that by design?
It's out of discomfort.
Oh, come on.
Even
You're a nice
this
looking
is
guy.
very
Really?
Yeah.
You seem like you like to not be in the limelight, but here you are, the songwriter and
Sure.
the solo guy. So what's up with that?
I like to write songs and I like to play shows. I don't like any of the other stuff.
Okay.
I don't like getting my picture taken, and fortunately, I have a very good-looking band, and they're very content to sort of like stand in front of me and get their picture taken and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's really funny. Well, we got to do another song right now, but I wanted
Cool.
to just ask you, the name of that first song was?
That first song was called
Strangers.
Strangers. It is a new one.
Okay, it's really a beautiful song.
Thank
now,
you.
is that one available on social
No,
yet?
that is
Okay.
brand new, as is this next one.
Okay,
Brand
so
new.
we're hearing this brand new. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like to do the new stuff.
Okay, good. And the name of this next one is very intriguing to me.
Yes, this is called Ash and Artifacts.
Ash and Artifacts.
Yes, it's about renewing your wedding vows during the apocalypse.
Oh my God. And we just had an apocalypse, kind of. So
That's where I got the idea.
yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more about the effect that the C word had on us.
Sure, I have a song about it.
Do you?
I do indeed.
Oh my gosh. I wish we could be here all night. All right. So Christopher Gold, everybody, on Waupaca Local Live, Ash and Artifacts.
Here we go.
Sitting on a park bench, waving at the flames, in the memory of someone's long forgotten name. There's one about a ticket, one about the day. This one's about what happens when there's nothing left to say. But I would sit with you forever, I will not miss a thing. And I would dig through ash and artifacts to find you a ring. And I would drive you to the chapel with the last bit of gasoline, just to make sure you were mine when the world tears at the seams. All my sanctuaries have boarded up their doors. Welcome this time tomorrow, they won't be there no more. They'll burn to the foundations till there's nothing left to say, except thank you for the memories. Travel safe, we're on our way. I would sit with you forever, I will not miss a thing. And I would dig through ash and artifacts to find you a ring. And I would drive you to the chapel with the last bit of gasoline, just to make sure you were mine when the world tears at the seams. They'll say this ain't the time, but I'm through singing for them. I would sit with you forever, I will not miss a thing. And I would dig through ash and artifacts to find you a ring. And I would drive you to the chapel with the last bit of gasoline, just to make sure you were mine when the world tears at the seams, just to make
thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your songwriting. I know that you made a quote in your bio on your website. It
Yes.
said you like to work with people who start with paper and pen.
Yes.
So is that your process? You start writing, is it the words or, okay, so you're a word guy.
Yeah, it's always words first.
Really? Okay.
It's usually, like the best ones are all at the same time usually, like the
Okay.
music and the lyric at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But I'm much more likely to have an idea for 2 or 3 lines of lyrics than I am for like a great guitar part, you know.
Okay. What about like melody? Where does that come from?
Usually that comes when the guitar part comes. I'll start playing something and then, you know, kind of figure out what works with that. But it happens. I'm just glad it happens at all, you know. So any way that it happens, I'll take it.
Do you have like a regular practice where you sit down and intentionally write music, or does it sort of happen, come to you at odd times, or?
It comes at odd times.
Okay.
I'm more likely to like get out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning to write something down on my phone or on a piece of
Okay.
paper than I am to. It's hard to schedule, you know. You
Yeah.
have all kinds of other stuff going on. I could. I should be more intentional about making time. I know a lot of writers that I admire talk about like first thing
Right.
in the morning they just write for 20 minutes and then, you know.
Are you talking about writers like literature writers or music writers?
Usually songwriters.
Songwriters.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
I don't hear a lot about the process for like authors that I like. You know, but I find that songwriters are interviewed a bit more in
Yeah.
podcasts and all that kind of thing. So,
Right. Okay. So you mentioned your influences on your website. Do you want to just tell me who your influences, who you consider?
there's a lot of them, but Joe Strummer from The Clash is a big one. Tom Petty's a big one. John Prine, Bob Dylan, Townes Van Zandt. You know, everyone you would think. Yeah.
And you're kind of like, so you do a lot of solo shows, so I just kind of imagining you in your car with your guitar, maybe your family, maybe not, just kind of traveling around. And tell me a little bit about, or tell us a little bit about that lifestyle of traveling and playing music. You're obviously not coming home every night after work, right?
Not every night, but fairly often, especially these last several years. You know, like right before COVID hit and everything like that, there was a lot more being planned to be gone
Yeah.
for like a week or 2 at a time.
Right.
And then that kind of fell apart, and since then it's been a lot more of like I'll get home at night, but it might be 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But yeah, I like it. I seem to like all the stuff that other people don't like as much. I like driving. I like you know, meeting new people and seeing new places and that kind of thing.
Being on the road.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how COVID affected your career and
Sure.
what did you do during that time?
Well, I did a lot of well, there was that whole, the problem initially was it kept, the duration kept changing. It was going to be a couple
Right.
weeks, and then it was maybe going to be
Yeah.
a couple more, and then it ended up, for me, it ended up being 16 months without a show.
Okay.
For a few different reasons, and we wanted to be cautious and that kind of thing. So, at first I did a thing on Facebook. I did a song a day for 100 days.
Okay.
So I played 100 songs live on Facebook, and then I put out a book. I collected the lyrics to 109 songs that I've written, and I published them in a book. And people could order that in the mail, and now we sell it at the merch table and that kind of thing. And
What's
did
it
some-
called? What's that book called?
it's called, I wrote some songs about home, I wrote some songs about ghosts, which is the first 2 lines from the first song in the book. I can give you a copy before I leave.
Okay. All right.
And did some live streams,
Okay.
both on my own and with other, you know, like some breweries and stuff.
Yeah,
Helped
yeah.
figure out how I could do a live stream for them and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just sort of, you know, relying on, I recorded a couple EPs that
Okay.
I released digitally, and people bought those, and I was real thankful for that. And we got through it all right.
Okay. So you kind of just buckled down and just went in a different direction. You didn't let it really shut you down, I guess, huh?
No, I think
That's great.
anybody who does any version of this job is used to having to figure out what to
Right.
do when everything goes terribly wrong.
Right. And the technology wasn't really quite there in the beginning, but it's
Yeah.
sort of, yeah, I mean, everybody always talks about the COVID silver linings, and
Sure.
I like to too because I'm an optimist, but I really feel like we're all better off in a way in terms of music being even more accessible to people.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are a lot more people who could actually listen to music because of COVID who weren't able to prior.
Yeah.
Especially like classical music and stuff, because those places were shut down, and so they tried to do some
Sure.
live streaming stuff, and it opened the world up to people that never would have been able to see that kind of music or hear it.
And
So
even
that's kinda cool.
just being at home, you know, we listened to a lot of music in,
Oh,
in a
okay.
way that we're not
Yeah.
maybe as used to doing. Like we're a vinyl family, but still, like you're in the car most of the time and you're listening to 2 songs here and 3 songs there.
Yeah.
And we got into the habit of 3 or 4 or 5 full albums a day,
Albums, yeah.
and that was fun.
That was like my old days. That's what people used to do, listen to an album. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I think we're going to do another song now.
Cool.
And this one is called New Heaven. Can you tell us a little bit about this song?
The short version is my son asked, what happens when we die? And I said, I don't know. I've never tried it before. But I have what I hope for, you know, and that of course involves him and my wife and that kind of thing. So I wrote a song about it.
All right. Christopher Gold, everybody, on Waupaca Local Live.
You said life takes forever. I said that's a long time, but I would only ask for more after spending mine with you. We could stay a little longer down here in this hole, just wishing that it was deeper and that we didn't have to go. But I know it drags on sometimes, but I bet that when it's gone it don't feel all that long. If there's a heaven, I will meet you there. It won't even matter if they let us in. Those gates could be locked, I won't even care. I'll just build us a new heaven for the rest of us to share. But I know it's unsure sometimes, but I know what I'll miss. I'm certain I know why, but I know it drags on sometimes. But I bet that when it's gone it don't feel all that long. Stop me before I waste this breath. Stop me before I throw one more word away, saying something true about second chances. Trouble ain't always. But I know it's unsure sometimes, but I know what I'll miss. Yeah, I'm certain I know why, but I know it drags on sometimes. I bet that when it's gone it don't feel all that long.
All right, another good one. Jeez.
Thank you very much.
I love that song.
Thank you very much. That was from one of the things I recorded during COVID. I recorded that in my house and released it on the internet.
Nice. So I just have we're going to run out of time. I have a bunch of questions left, so I'm just going to fire them.
Hit me.
All right, your CDs. How many CDs do you have? And you have solo, you have band? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe like 10.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Before COVID, we were doing one every like 9 months. We do them live to tape in like a day and a half.
Okay.
So cranking them out.
And where do you do your recording?
A few different places, but for the most part, we had recorded the last several in Appleton.
Okay.
There's a cool studio called Rock Garden.
Okay.
And they have this great vintage board that like Neil Young has used. And
oh, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so where can people get your CDs? Through your website?
Yeah, you can order them at ChristopherGold.com, or you can come to a show.
Okay.
And or
Does the band have a website too?
No, everything is just in one place.
Everything's through ChristopherGold.com.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And where can people kind of find your tour schedule when you're touring? Is that also on your website?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
What
can find
kinds
everything you'd ever want to know.
Okay. Can you name a few places in a 50-mile radius that you've played that people can kind of pay attention to?
Sure.
To find a show of you or your band?
Yeah. Like when we're in Appleton, in the summer we play at Fox River House. In the winter it's usually at like Gibson Community Music Hall. We have a show there on December 10th for a charity event that I do every year.
Nice. And what's that charity for?
It's a toy drive for the local domestic abuse shelter.
Okay,
this is the 12th year we've done it.
Awesome.
And then, we get to Madison a fair bit, usually at the High Noon, but I've done...
Oh, that's a great venue.
Yeah, but I've also done the Majestic. I did the Barrymore once. We did the Sylvie last summer. That was a big, fun hoopla. And, just... My thing is, I'll go anywhere people ask me to go, and I'll play at bars,
but those are some good
rooms.
venues.
Yeah. And I like...
Recognizable.
Yeah, I like the big, nice, fancy venues, and I like house shows, and I like this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And
do you do house concerts?
It's my favorite thing to do.
And how do people arrange to have a house concert with you? They just contact you through your website?
Go to ChristopherGold.com, and there's a contact thing, and that'll go right to my phone.
Okay, and you don't have a manager, so you're doing it all yourself?
Correct.
All right, so if you want to meet him up close and personal, just send that message. It goes right to him.
That's right.
All right, my burning question is about your little alter ego, your radio show. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I have a radio show called Backstories.
Backstories.
That airs Sundays at 7 p.m. and Mondays at 10 p.m.
Okay.
And it's on, if you're in the Fox Valley area, it's on 91.1 The Avenue, or it streams online at avenueradio.com.
Okay.
And it's very like intimate and personal. I pick all the songs, and it's kind of a throwback to like a 70s radio vibe where the DJs were real... I talk a fair bit about if I have an experience with this artist, or if this song means something specific to me, or if I just know something interesting about it. So it feels... people have said that it reminds them of like listening to the radio back in the day. And even me, like I grew up listening to like Casey Kasem and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it definitely has that kind of vibe.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So Sunday night, everybody, or live streaming, or streaming on the radio station.
avenueradio.com.
And what's the name of the show again?
Backstories.
Backstories. Okay, that's awesome. So do you just pick your favorite songs and do stories?
Mm-hmm.
What
Pretty
a
much.
fun...
Yeah. And the story could be, I opened for this guy, or it could be, my favorite lyric from this song. I did a whole 10-minute thing on Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, and hearing that as a kid, and everything it kind of taught me about songwriting and implying stuff versus just saying it out loud and that kind of thing.
Wow, that's really cool. Do you ever do any shows like with Stevie Wonder as your theme?
No, not yet.
Can you do one?
You know what's funny? I was just listening to a Stevie Wonder song yesterday and thinking about putting it on the show.
You should.
I should.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to totally pick your brain on that one.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm really excited that we got to learn so much about you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
It's been great having you on the show, and I'm sure that people are going to watch it once we have really good following on our people watching the videos.
Cool.
So
awesome.
I think if there's anything else you want to just mention before your last song, anything?
I don't think so. Just this is what I love to do, so I'll come do it wherever anybody wants me to come do it. So if you have a theater or a brewery or a sizable living room, give me a call.
All right, Christopher Gold, and you're going to do this last one's called A Couple More,
Yes.
but it's one song, right?
It's one song. I wrote this song for my wife on her birthday during quarantine. And it's about spending a very, very bad time with people you like spending time with.
Yeah, I like that theme. All right, Christopher Gold, everybody.
I've been staying up late, I've been sleeping in, and I've been reading Walden 5 pages at a time. Been trying to love you a little better every day, and I've been learning not to need a thing. I've been having coffee late in the afternoons, trying to count these blessings 5 minutes at a time, and having longer kitchen conversations, and spending all my days singing all the old Bob Dylan songs to you. And they say better days are on the way, but I ain't really sure. 'Cause the days they said were bad were some of the best I'd ever had, and I know it's foolish, but I'll take a couple more. Lost a little money, I've been a little scared. I've lost a little status, I've tried my hardest not to care. But if the upside is late nights and a little more time with you, you know you won't hear me complain. And they say better days are on the way, but I ain't really sure. 'Cause the days they said were bad were some of the best I'd ever had, and I know it's selfish, but I'll take a couple more. Thank you.